What if you could make 13K in the next 7 days by following a simple system? In this video, I'm going to show you the exact process that got me out of a financial hole and got me 13 grand's worth of new business in just a week. So to give you the backstory to this, it was a few years ago and I was struggling. Summer was hitting, a couple of clients had delayed projects, some of the referrals took longer than I did, and I faced this bit of a hole. And it was a real crunch. I had a whole load of bills to pay. And then suddenly, everything feeling great, everything feeling good, and this hole in my revenue appeared. And I was like, what am I going to do? I thought, is this business viable? I went through all of that stuff. Why am I in this situation? Blamed myself, blamed the world. But then I came to one of the most powerful things about being in a hole is it forces you to really focus. And I'd been guilty of tinkering with websites, playing on Canva, doing all this other stuff, pretending to be busy getting clients, when actually I was just procrastinating. I was avoiding doing the work. And that avoidance created a gap. My complacency created a gap. So this forced me into focus mode, and I had to go, how am I going to get enough money to meet all the things I've got to do and do it in a week? So I had to come up with a plan. And I built this plan, implemented it, and a week later, I'd got 13 grand paid by card. £13,000 paid by card. I could not believe it at the time, and it taught me a powerful lesson about focus. And you might be thinking, oh, well, Dean, you've got thousands and thousands of followers. I didn't have back then. I didn't have the network you see today. And I had to do it with a small number of people. In fact, it was 76 people. 76 people made me 13 grand. And most of you watching me will have more than 76 people in your world. So you don't need 10,000 followers, just a small number of the right ones. That's all you need. And it's especially powerful if you're anti-sales funnel. You know, all of these complex upsell, downsell, all this stuff, it's just overwhelming. So who is this for and who does this work for, this process that I developed? Well, if you're a solopreneur, business owner, salesperson selling services, this is really good for you. Like I said, you don't need complex funnels. You don't need to be posting and hoping that leads will come your way. And neither do you need to be like pitch slapping 1,000 people to make it work. The right people with the right offer, with the right incentives can get people to act quickly. With hindsight, I look back and go, actually that pressure created a diamond. That force of focus actually helped me develop a system. And I've never forgotten this system. I've actually taught it to some of my clients who've been in tough situations, shall we say, and they've managed to repeat the success by focusing narrowly to get a clear result: money, clients. If I hadn't had that crunch moment, it would have never forced me to focus. I would have kept dabbling, tinkering, procrastinating, and probably had to quit and get a job because I was just pushing problems down the road rather than dealing with how do I get clients and do it consistently. So that pressure moment created a diamond for me because I documented my system, what I did, and called it the 7-day client system. So what's inside it? Well, first thing, you need a simple no-brainer offer that you can craft in 45 minutes. I've made that template. You need to know exactly how to get that simple offer in front of exactly the right people, people who are ready to buy right now. But more than that, you have to know how to price it so that it will sell and give people an immediate reason to say yes. If it's too expensive, people will want to consider it longer. And if it's too cheap, you're going to have to sell them in huge volumes and you're not going to make good money. And then finally, I've packaged up my templates, my step-by-step instructions, so anybody can implement this whole process end to end this next week. I needed a system that just worked. I didn't have time to wait for content or leads to come my way. I had to find them. And that's exactly what the 7-day client system does. It's about solving a problem of I need clients. Now, you're probably somebody who can get results for other people, but maybe in this scenario, you're facing that pinch point and you've got loads of results for other people, but are struggling to get that result for yourself right now. This is the system that will work for you. This is something you can do right now. This system just works. One of my accelerator members used this to generate $10,000 in their first week. Another client used it to generate £3,000. It is a proven process anybody can implement if they're selling services. So if you don't want to wait for your content to perform, you don't want to wait for leads to come to you, this is a system you can implement right now and start getting results. Click the link below this video and you can start using my system today.